Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening to all the masters. Welcome to day 14 of our 21-day Breath Awake meditation program. Today, we have Rishank, who is going to sing welcome song. Rishank is a young master who is pursuing his 8th grade in Dallas. He's been learning classical music since the age of 4 years. Welcome, Rishank.
Namaskaram. शारदे करुणानिधे सकला नवाम्भ सदा जनान् चारणाधिमगीत वैभव पूरिताखिल दीप्तते शारदे करुणानिधे सकला नवाम्भ सदा जनान् चारणाधिमगीत वैभव पूरिताखिल दीप्तते शारदे भर्मभूषण भूषिते वररत्न मौली विराजिते शर्मदागिनी कर्ममोचिनी निर्मलं कुरु मानसं शारदे करुणानिधे सकला नवाम्भ सदा जनान् चारणाधिमगीत वैभव पूरिताखिल दीप्तते शारदे हस्तसन्धृत पुस्तकक्षपटी सुधागत मुद्रिके कस्ति वास्ति वर्णने चतुरो नर कचरोतवा कस्ति वास्ति वर्णने चतुरो नर कचरोतवा शारदे करुणानिधे सकला नवाम्भ सदा जनान् चारणाधिमगीत वैभव पूरिताखिल दीप्तते शारदे शारदे शारदे
Thank you so much, Rishank. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you again. Friends, now let's move on to our meditation portion of our meeting. To conduct meditation, let's all welcome our meditation master, Srujana Kandala. Welcome, Srujana.
Good morning. Thank you, Divya. Beautiful song, Rishank. Beautiful song. God bless you. Friends, let's get into our day 14 meditation. We all know the process. Please go ahead and remove glasses or specs if you wear. And slowly relax your body. And if you're sitting in a chair, cross your feet. If you're sitting in Sukhasana, sit comfortably. Adjust your body so you're very relaxed. And let's scan from the bottom up and look for any tension anywhere. Or if you feel like you're holding any part of the body tightly. The feet, the calves, the thighs, abdomen area, chest and shoulders, neck, and the head, forehead, and the eyebrows. Relax the body completely. And let's take a deep breath and exhale. And let's take another deep breath. And exhale. Slowly close your eyes. And bring your attention to your normal, natural breath. Let's be with each inhalation and follow through each exhalation. Slowly we'll start the music. be with the breath, friends. Observe the normal, natural flow of breath. Stay with your breath, dear friends. last 10 minutes. Please be with your breath. Last 5 minutes. any thoughts that come to your mind by bringing your attention back to your breath. Last 2 minutes. Slowly come back to your surroundings. Come back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take your own time, there is no rush. Unclasp your fingers and place them on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now gently open your eyes with a big, big smile. Thank you very much. You all should be very proud. We've meditated for 14 days in a row. Hope you all have a glorious day. Back to you, Divya.
Friends, welcome back. Sujana, thank you so much for a wonderful meditation. Your voice is so peaceful and so soothing for us to go into deeper levels of meditation. Thank you once again, Sujana. Friends, I hope you're ready for the amazing wisdom session going to happen today. Today, we're going to have senior most meditator from Melbourne, Australia. She is Saroja Gullapalli, and she's going to speak about emotions. She's the founder of Saroja's self-empowerment platform and Beyond Your Mind Foundation. She's also an award-winning motivational speaker, holistic counselor, and the author of the book, The Red Rose, inspired by Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. She has received many, many awards. To name a few, she has received Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence from the Australian government in recognition to her community service. She's also been awarded as a title of Brahma Vidvamani at one of the largest spiritual festivals or programs which happened in Kartal in 2019, Mahila Dhyana Mahachakra. She has been doing community work for the last 15 years and has been conducting multiple workshops in 3 languages, English, Hindi, and Telugu, in Australia and as well as on the many, many online platforms. Her vision is to build community with individuals who believe in themselves and have miraculous thinking that aids in overall growth of humanity. And her mission in her life is to live in the present moment with complete awareness because she believes that the whole life exists in this moment. With this, let's all welcome Saroja Gullapalli Madam from Australia. Welcome, Madam.
Thank you, Divya. It's wonderful to be with you all again. Should I wait till you spotlight me or you want me to continue?
Yeah, they're going to spotlight you shortly, Madam.
Okay, I'll just give a minute.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're good to go. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Divya, for that wonderful introduction, for your kind words. Thank you all, masters. It's a pleasure for me to connect to you. I know most of you, but there could be 1 or 2 masters I'm meeting for the first time. And it's really wonderful to be connected to this platform once again. I was in the US a little while ago, and I had really the blessed opportunity to meet most of you masters in Dallas, Atlanta, and other places. Divya has asked me to talk on such a profound topic, which is emotions. We all have our own understanding about emotions, isn't it? And I'm sure, there won't be anyone on this platform who do not know what is emotions, right? We all label emotions the way we understand positive emotions, negative emotions. But leaving all things aside, to understand these emotions a little bit deeper. Before I dive into this topic, my dear masters, I always like to challenge our neuron connections. I mean, I know most of you are very young. You don't have to worry about your neuron connections. But people at my age should also always be aware. Learn new things, build new connections, try to extend your brain or expand your brain as much as you can. And how do you do? By learning things that we haven't learned before, isn't it? That's what life is all about. Whether you call it evolution, progress, whatever name you give. Now the new name is ascension, isn't it? We all talk left, right, and center about ascension. No matter what it is, it's only one. It's about the new neuron connections that we are making in this beautiful aspect in our body, which is called brain. So every time, let's challenge it a little bit more, push it a little bit further, and just leave it and let the amazing body physiology, let it do its work, right? Because behind every beautiful physiology is that beautiful spiritual physiology, isn't it? Bodily is only one level that we understand, and so much happens behind that, right? So I'm going to push a little bit further into this emotions. I'm not going to talk about the emotions that we all know of, anger, love, joy, everything. We have all heard. I know every masters have gone through so many sessions. So let's try to push it a little bit further. Doesn't matter if you guys don't understand. I've been given 20 minutes for this talk. I'll try to do complete justice, but no guarantee, right? That's the problem with me. Once I get into this topic, I can sit in any topic for hours together and still say the time is not enough. What can I do, masters? That's my divine plan. So, but I want to introduce something new to you people. Let it make you think, right? And if we don't have enough time today to complete this topic, it's okay. We have laid the foundation, and I'm sure Divya will invite me again, and we can continue from where we left, right? Okay, with that, we will start. I'd like to share something with you people. So I'm going to share a screen for some time so that you understand what I'm going to say, because this is much more beyond how we understand emotions, right? So Divya, I hope you have made me the co-host. Okay.
Yes, madam,
So,
you are. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'll try to share a screen with you guys. Just bear with me. Can you all see this? Can you all see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, madam, we can see.
Okay. Right. Can you still see my PowerPoint slide, Divya?
Yes, madam. But it's not the
Just
full
one.
screen yet.
Okay. Let me try. Okay, I'm stopping it again, but let me try it once again, even if it's not full. Sometimes my computer is playing up these days, so let me try to share what I can. Okay, so it's part of my screen that you can see. Can you? All right. I'll try to put it on slideshow, but the moment I put it on slideshow, it's going to vanish. So it doesn't matter. Can you still see that pyramid that I'm showing, Divya?
Yes, madam, I can see it. Yes.
Okay. So what you're seeing this today here is the pyramid of emotions. There is a whole pyramid of emotions that we need to understand. And we'll try to go through this pyramid. So I'm going to keep this screen for a little while, and then I'm going to take this screen away because I don't want anything to be between you and me. So this is what we're going to learn about emotions, right? There's a big pyramid there. And on the top of the pyramid, we call the true self, the oneness that we are all, right? So I'm just going to stop sharing. And then we will talk about what we... Emotions are in various levels in us, masters. By the time these emotions come to us in the form that we understand, it has already changed its form. So when we start, where does these emotions come from? Everything in this creation comes from that so-called oneness that we are all. The whole creation is starting from the oneness. And if someone is struggling, what is oneness, then we can call it the nothingness, the emptiness, right? And at this state of emptiness, everything is balanced and at rest. Everything is balanced. There is no up and down. There's no ripple in this ocean or lake of oneness. And when fragmentation starts, I'm sure you're all spiritual masters here, so I don't have to explain what is fragmentation. Fragmentation is nothing but the starting of creation. Till the creation hasn't started, everything is in oneness. The mere thought that starts whole creation starts from fragmentation, right? So till that point, everything is in its natural, original state of consciousness. And when fragmentation starts, we begin to experience the raw stimulation. It is not the experiences, it's not the emotions, it's only stimulation. Something is stimulating us to move forward. And that is the first form, the way our true self of consciousness expresses itself. So the first expression is only stimulation, and that is very neutral. Stimulation is very neutral because we haven't started labeling it under any duality, good, bad, I like it, I don't like it. No, the oneness has just started creating, and everything is only a stimuli. What is a stimuli? Something provoking us to start thinking forward and expand the creation. I know I'm going to throw very complicated words here for those masters who are understanding, well and good. But those masters who are thinking, what the hell is she talking about? Just understand somewhere we have to push our mind. We don't want to keep ourselves in the comfort zone all our life. We have to push our boundaries, and today is the day of pushing boundaries, right? Even though duality has started at this stage of raw stimuli, raw stimulation, it is still the neutral energy. The duality has only started, but still everything is still calm. There's no ripple in this creation. Now, what are these raw experiences? When you start getting experiences for the first time, there is still no branding or still no labeling. You experience, and then you feel there is a raw emotion. So from oneness, and now I'm trying to explain that pyramid that I showed you just a while ago. At the top of the pyramid was your oneness, where everything was in that lake or in that ocean, everything was calm, no ripples at all. And when the creation started, the fragmentation started, stimulus. You started feeling something, but really it wasn't an experience. When more fragmentation started, more you entered into creation, because even creation has levels of creation, right? So now you're coming into more gross from rarer part of creation, and then you start getting raw emotions, the next layer in that pyramid. So what is a raw emotions? So for example, if you are seeing a sunset or a sunrise, whatever it is a stimulus. It is invoking something in us. What is a stimulus? I said before, something that moves us, something that creates that trigger. Something is happening. At that stage, the stimulus is neither good nor bad. But that beauty, it's triggering an emotional response in us. We feel something. We feel to respond to it. But we haven't really branded it as good and bad. I keep saying this because this is raw. Raw means with no prior conditioning, with no labeling. So now we are getting down into one more level. At this stage, the response is often, when you're seeing a sunrise and a sunset, the response is often a mixture of appreciation, love, and gratitude. Because what comes out of your heart when you see a sunrise and a sunset is gratitude. Gratitude towards whom? You won't understand towards whom. Everything seems to be like full of appreciation. And this is what raw experience is. Because the response is still neutral. There is no story attached to these emotions at this level. You do not look at the sky at this level and think, oh my God, man is polluting the sky. At this stage, nobody will look at the sunrise and look around the cloud and say, look at the dark clouds. Oh my God, it's going to rain. No. At this stage, it is a raw emotion, and the experience that you come out is appreciation, gratitude. These are raw emotions with no stories attached. This is the story of emotions that we are talking about. So we talked about two layers here, right? Before the ego starts in our life. After the ego starts, the story is very interesting and most of us know how it moves. But before ego attaches, there are two layers which I just explained. Before the ego starts introducing the polarity of duality, good and bad, right? Till that ego starts, and we call, in this pyramid you would have seen, the ego came into it and we called it a gatekeeper. Why am I calling it a gatekeeper? Because it's really like a gate opening. Till you enter that gate, everything is as is. Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi means it just exists without any story, without any labeling, without any preconditioning history. Hence, stimulus is raw stimulus. Emotion is raw emotion. And that's why I gave you the example that when you are in that space and you see sunrise and you see sunset, that appreciation, the joy, the unconditioned love that comes out of you is not attached with any story. Now we enter through the gate where the gatekeeper is called our ego. What happens after that? Now we are entering into our third level of existence, right? So these are all forms of existence and how emotions are coming down to the way we understand them. Now, what we call an ego gate is where the ego begins to separate its experiences into preferences. Till now, there was no preference. You never thought, oh, I love this sunrise. I want my sunrise to be every day like this. No, it was the way it is. But now, once you enter into the gate of ego, where ego is standing as a gatekeeper, after that, every experience comes with a preference. And this is where our story starts, my dear masters. We are calling it as an ego filter at this point because the story of emotions change once you enter this gate or this filter of ego. And what happens after you enter this gate, and once your ego filter allows you to pass through this, everything is judged and seen through the beautiful, colorful, spectacular glass of ego. And that's where our preferences start. I don't like clouds. I only like orange sunsets. I don't like the pink sunsets. They're too dull. Till then, every sunset was the way it is, the way it was creating the primordial joy in us. But now categorization comes in. Pink sunsets are different from orange sunset. And not only preferences, this is followed by our judgment, which is now we start explaining why pink are beautiful or why pink are not good. Now we start saying pink sunsets are bad because they are caused by a lot of pollution and chemicals in our environment. This is how the ego filters our reality and our remote emotions. The raw emotions are no longer the way they should be. And this is where we are no longer at peace because the beauty of experiences and emotions are lost in our preferences and judgment. Now we have passed through the ego filter. Then it comes next what it is. Now the preferences have started. That means it comes with our belief system building. See how things are interconnected in the world of emotions. Now we are slowly entering into our belief system, which is the next level. The ego generates a really creative belief systems. It's all the doing. Once you have passed the gate of ego, where the ego filter gatekeeper is starting, the whole game is run by the ego very well. You don't have to do much. You can just sit in the autopilot mode in your car seat and let the ego take over. And this is all the story now, how ego colors our emotions and brings it into our life. So belief systems are very interesting because they can be conscious belief systems or unconscious belief system. What is a conscious belief system? A conscious belief system might be, well, example is, well, I believe, I deserve an orange sunset. I'm only using the example of sunset and sunrise because let's carry on the same thing and extrapolate it, right? So here we say, well, I believe I deserve an orange sunset because I did something good this morning. I deserve it. Now my belief system is being attached to my preferences and my judgment. See how story develops. First, it was preferences. Then it was our judgment. And now my belief system is already added to the whole story of my experiences and emotions. And what is unconscious belief system? Unconscious belief system are both stronger and harder to notice. We don't even know that it exists because we're not conscious of it. And they often contradict our conscious ones. So there can always be a confusion, because our conscious belief systems, we know where they are coming from. But our unconscious belief system, which comes from our subconscious memory, we have no clue where they are coming from. And most of the time, the conscious belief systems and unconscious belief system are clashing, which can create more confusion, more suffering, and thereby more negative emotions as we label them. Belief system as such can further fragment our reality, right? So let's use a human belief system to make the example more tangible. Let's say, one of our examples, we have to take some example. Father was very abusive, when we were young, and we learned that love equals punishment, because father kept saying that, I love you. So the now love and abusive environment has been put together. And that's how our belief system developed. And wherever you hear the word love, the punishment also exists at the same time. This is how belief systems develop for people. So as we go down into this pyramid, now once we have entered this ego gate, the illusions keep becoming more illusionary and stronger. At this level, the next level of pyramid is a very illusionary experience, where your belief system, like I said, the example, love equals punishment. That's not true. Love does not equal punishment, but your belief system says love equals punishment. So what happens? That is the state. Because of your belief system, you create a state of paranoid. That particular person will be paranoid because you believe that everyone wants to punish you or push you down. So you walk through this life seeing only through the filters that come from your belief system. You stop believing that love does not come without punishment. So what happens? Your belief system is pushing you away from reality more and more, right? So your belief system keeps you pushing away from the non-dual experience of true reality. True reality is non-dual. But because now you have a belief system, you start getting conditioned to your belief system. That's the biggest illusion that pushes you away from the reality. From this illusionary experiences, because every experience that is coming to us is coming through these illusionary spectacles, filters. So because of that, we reach to the next level, which is called illusionary emotional reaction. What does that mean? So let's use the same example. Let's say the person with the abusive father was X. Now, I might say to X in a very neutral and loving way, I would say, oh, that's such a beautiful sweater you're wearing today. But because of X's belief system, she hears the comment through the belief that she has, the filters. And unconsciously, what she's hearing, that the sweater I'm wearing is lovely because the one I wore yesterday was ugly. I didn't say that. But her belief system will give her that experience and that illusionary emotions. Now, if she really told you that this is what she's hearing it, you might laugh at that distortion. But this is how we are hardwired. Most of us are hardwired with our belief systems, with our illusionary belief systems. Sorry, belief systems are not illusionary, but because of this belief system, the experiences and the emotions that come to us go through this filter and become full of illusion. Now, you can try to give this X person as much love as you want. But if her original programming or belief system says love equals punishment, she will never accept love. No matter how much you pour love to her, her experience will never let it accept. She will only receive punishment because that's the only thing she has ever known. So in her experience, what is she getting? Only suffering. Though I'm pouring love in her plate, her belief system will cut down what she does not recognize and will take what she recognizes. So this is the filter through which our emotions are coming to us. in the illusionary form. Now, can you see how this kind of programming is our belief system programming, can take us deeper and deeper into illusion, because of which we get stuck always into pain. This is where pain and suffering starts, because of these illusionary emotions that we receive, my dear masters. And in this beautiful triangle that I showed you, the triangle of emotions and experiences, because experiences and emotions are all intertwined. Experiences generate emotions. That's how it is. People who have heard, either through my wisdom sharing or through book of the untold story of Sita, even Sita Ma said, no matter how divine I may be in Narayani form, but once I have taken the form of human being, I cannot avoid experiences and emotions. So even through that book, we have seen Sita Ma's eyes, full of water, tears rolling out many times, like me. I've cried through that book several times when I was doing wisdom sharing. And that's the beauty of this human body. You receive experiences, you receive emotions. But it is not up to that. If you just receive the experiences and emotions the way they are still raw, without any judgment. But that ego filter, when it starts playing its game completely, even that emotions are coming through that filter, and that is where suffering starts. We all complain, isn't it? Maybe not now, but once upon a time. And 99.9% of the humanity always complains. Life is tough, full of challenges, full of suffering. This is what is coming into the plate. So the final level of this emotion is suffering. Suffering has been discussed so much in Buddhism. Gautam Buddha, the only reason he escaped the palace to find out who he was is, what is the suffering? Why is every person in my kingdom suffering? How can I raise above this suffering? This was the only question on his mind when he left all the wealth, all the riches, and stepped out into this vast universe to find out the only one way to raise above this suffering. So we all know, some of us or most of us say life is suffering. In some ways, my dear masters, if you allow this unconscious fragmentation, what is unconscious? The fragmentation that is happening at subconscious level, but the result you're seeing in your reality is called unconscious fragmentation. So if you allow this unconscious fragmentation process to perpetuate in your psyche, then life does indeed become suffering. You have the ability to navigate yourself out of the state of suffering with awareness and self-observation. You can move backwards through all the layers that I showed in that pyramid, starting from the suffering layer to all the way of just raw stimulus. When you see a sunset or a sunrise, it just is. It's not beautiful, it's not ugly. You just see it the way it is, and then you see that profound joy that resonates within oneself. So it's only through awareness and self-observation that you can come out of this illusionary emotional experiences to the state of really experiencing the emotions just the way they are. It takes practice. It takes a lot of self-honesty to do this, but it is possible. So if we took the example of X, let's go back to the same example. The girl who was conditioned with whatever her belief system was, the sweater example. Now let's take it a little bit further. X is suffering. She thinks a lot about our comment on her sweater. Maybe she replays it in her head over and over again, like how we do. Or maybe she's not even conscious of it, but just feels bad, and she doesn't know why. She doesn't know why my comment has really hurt her. Sometimes we don't know. If she can identify the reason of her suffering, then she can navigate backward through all the layers in that pyramid, see that it's only an illusionary emotional reaction, and ask herself, where did it come from? Where did the suffering start from? The more she keeps self-inquiry, why am I feeling bad? Why the hell am I feeling bad? When the self-inquiry starts again and again and observation follows, then that X can navigate backward again to see where this illusionary feeling came from. At that point of time, she will see that they came from the comment made about her sweater. Then she can keep navigating backward to find out, why did it bother her so much? This is the practice that we should all do if we are feeling bad about any emotions that we are going through. As you move backward in this pyramid that I shared a while ago, the belief system layer is the hardest to work through. Why? Why, masters? Because the belief system layers are disguised in our conscious and subconscious levels. Many people do a lot of work in this layer in meditative state. That is why meditation is so important, because without our knowledge, in the subconscious level, we are working on this belief system. As we have mentioned several times before, we have conscious belief systems which are easy to identify. We can identify, oh, this is my belief system, because we are conscious and you can work on it. But the unconscious ones are harder to identify, because you have to learn to the whispers that come into your mind, into your heart. They are like little gas bubbles when you're quiet, like when you are in a meditative state, when you are enjoying a sunset. Suddenly a thought might bubble up and it will say, you shouldn't be watching the sunset. You don't have time. You should be working. Tomorrow you got to give this presentation. You don't deserve peace until you have done your job. Watch out for these little bubbles that keep arising. And you know, when you start observing them, these discoveries are like gold. Cherish them, because they are the keys that will unlock you to move backwards through all the layers and reach to that emotional, raw emotions, raw stimulus. And they are the keys to your freedom, masters. So I'm going to stop my wisdom sharing here, because I think my time is up. I know I have thrown a lot of words here, a lot of stuff here you might be hearing for the first time, but that's okay. We have to challenge ourselves. That's why I showed that pyramid for a second, so that, or a couple of minutes, so that you understand the story of emotions is not easy. It's just not the way you see or understand it. It has got multiple layers. Each one of us, let's pledge today that we are going to work on our emotions. Working doesn't mean fight with us. Fighting is not working, masters. The more you resist, the more it persists. Never forget this golden rule of this creation. Life is not to persist. Life is to smoothly glide along with your emotions in whatever form they come. But slowly start digging into, where is it coming from? Which belief system is coloring it? See the example of sweater. All I did was I commented, the sweater is beautiful. If Miss X judges it saying that, oh, today is good, that means yesterday wasn't bad, it is not the fault of me or my words or whatever circumstances, external circumstances are there for Miss X. What is coloring the input through her Panchendriya is her belief system in her subconscious level. Subconscious and conscious levels, they play games with us all the time. Why? Because we are totally aware. Nobody ever thinks, what the hell is happening in my consciousness? Remember, if you think about your memory as a big hill or a mountain, the kind of memory that you are aware of is less than 10%. Less than 10% are you aware, which you can call it conscious memory. 90% is hidden from you all the time. Out of that 90%, the subconscious forms a major chunk. And in that subconscious mountain, are hidden so many belief systems that have been coming from yonks, from incarnation to incarnation, which are deciding the emotions the way you are receiving. Emotions, there are no good or bad emotions. They just are. You have to identify why they are making you feel bad or why they are making you feel so good. Don't think bad is bad and good is good. No. We are spiritual scientists. Scientists cannot take the good part and leave the bad part. That's not how science works. Scientists look at both and see why I feel very exhilarated on one hand and very depressed on the other hand. If something is wrong here, then something is wrong here as well. The natural state is balance, no ripple state. So this is also not good. That is also not good because you are away from your reality. That is duality. This is duality. But this is your non-dual state. So I'm going to take a break at this point, Masters. The 20 minutes wisdom sharing that I was given about emotions. I have tried to push your boundaries a little bit further on either side of ego filter. Ego plays a very big game in our physical existence. But that's the beauty, isn't it? If ego wasn't there, we wouldn't be part of this drama. I wouldn't enjoy this drama so much. So don't blame the ego. There's nothing to blame. It's all part of the beautiful experiences that we have come here for, right? Over to you, Masters. Over to Divya, Madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. Yes, you really pushed us to think beyond our own limitations and beliefs, Madam. I think you got the point what you're meant to do today. Thank you so much. And we have a master for a few questions, Madam. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yes, sure.
Yeah. So we have Manoj. You can unmute yourself, Manoj.
Hello, hello, madam. This is Manoj.
Hi, Manoj. Where are you from? Introduce yourself before you ask question.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm from Hyderabad and associated with Pyramid for the last 15 years. So one question I have here, ma'am. So, I mean, you mentioned the emotion is raw. So, I mean, actually it is neutral basically, right? So thought which I am getting is even, I mean, Krishna had an opinion for Pandavas that, I mean, he had preference. Rama had an opinion for Dharma and Adharma, right? So opinion is always there, or it comes out of the natural state or whatever the raw emotion is. So what is right and what is wrong? How do we judge that? Or, you know, how do we know that, you know, my path is correct?
Your question is absolutely fantastic. And excuse me for eating that banana. I've just come out of the gym, so I'm starving, and hence I was eating that banana. For most people, you know, I mean, half of my session I'll be eating. Not that I'm hungry all the time, but I just try to fit in all these sessions in my schedule. So please excuse me. All right, get into the question. You gave great examples of Rama and Krishna and their opinions. My dear master, let me explain you that what Rama's knowledge and Krishna knowledge has come to you is only partial. We haven't had the complete picture of what really Krishna and Rama did, right? So we have to use that very, very carefully. And now that we are spiritual practitioners, we don't need Rama and Krishna to support us in our theory. You know who uses names? When we are doubtful about yourself, then we'll say, oh, this is from Vivekananda. So-and-so said, to have some support behind. But none of us masters here, you're all spiritually evolved. Whatever you say is equal to Krishna and Rama only. So really, we don't need any support. First of all, we are all divine. We are as divine as Krishna and Rama. So even Manoj, if you just give me your opinion, I will take it. It has come from Rama and Krishna, right? So let me also explain what I'll take example of Krishna, because you mentioned Krishna. I really don't want you to go away thinking Madam did not answer my complete question. What Krishna did is not an opinion. Krishna will never give his opinion like that. Like we give opinion left, right, and center to people, Krishna won't give opinion like that. Why? When immediately, if Madam says anything, if I haven't said why, you should say why. Otherwise, it's a half-baked answer, isn't it? Why? Because Krishna, when he was born here, He was born with complete awareness of his divinity. What's the difference? We are also divine, but we are not aware of our divinity. That's the only difference between Krishna and us. Krishna and us have the same divinity, but Krishna was aware, I am God, and he lived in his divinity. We listen, we are God, but it doesn't feel like, no, Manoj, I don't feel like we are God, and I'm sure you also feel like that. And that's why we think twice. Why these people keep saying I'm Krishna and Rama? I don't feel like it, right? And that's why we came into this path, so that we can, each of us, feel that we are Rama and Krishna. Now going back to Krishna. Krishna would not just say something because he feels like saying something. No. Complete divinity, awareness of divinity means that everyone's soul plan, including his soul plan, he was clear. Now, I'm hoping that you understand what is a soul plan. Manoj, you understand what's a soul plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good, good.
Yeah.
I'm only asking because if you don't understand, then I don't want you to get lost.
No,
Now,
I do. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. Now, with an example, I will tell you. Krishna and Pandavas came at the same time, right? Now, Pandavas never wanted to have Mahabharata war. Am I right, Manoj? We are aware of that, isn't it? They didn't want Mahabharata.
Yes,
Why?
that's right, ma'am.
They are my brothers. Why fighting? I love them. No, but they are always being rude to you. Krishna would provoke them. They are always being rude to you. Why you're nice? No. Forgive them, Krishna. Why? They are my cousins. Pandavas were always ready to forgive Kauravas. Always forget. Right from the childhood, how many times they tried to kill Pandava? But no, it's okay. We are happy to forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. But Krishna was the one who made sure Pandavas did not forget and forgive Kauravas. Why? If I clarify that, you will understand it's not just throwing off opinions that these people do, because what they do is not karma. What we do is karma. What Krishna does is called Leela. First of all, try to understand what's the difference between karma and what is the difference between Leela. We do karmas because we have no idea what we are doing, why we are doing. We have absolutely no idea. We are hoping that we understand what we do. Hence, whatever we do, we fall into the karma cycle. People with complete divinity awareness like Krishna, they are not doing things because it feels good, it makes them feel good. No, because they are completely aware of the consequences. They're completely aware of their choices. Hence, whatever they do is called Leela. With complete awareness, karma is called Leela. With limited awareness, you fall into the karma cycle. So it's very important to understand when you are talking Krishna's example, we should be 100% aware what we are talking. Otherwise, we are not spiritual scientists. Spiritual scientist means when you are thinking, clarity. When you speak, clarity. When you feel, clarity. If there is no clarity, we are not spiritual scientists. Hence, whenever I say something, I myself keep questioning why, so that instead of you asking me why, I can keep on giving you the reasons. Now, why Krishna provoked Pandavas? Krishna provoked Pandavas because he knew their soul plan. He knew their soul plan completely. Pandavas were not aware of their soul plan because they were not aware of their divinity. They were like you and me. They were good-hearted people. For whatever, way they were, they wanted to do good, but they had no clue what their divine plan was. Krishna was aware. Krishna was aware of their divine plan, hence kept on reminding them to make sure they are on the path of their soul plan. And Pandava's soul plan was to come down and have this war with Kauravas, right? So Krishna, when it comes to Krishna, it is not an opinion. It is complete knowledge, right? So that's the story of Krishna. Now let's get back to our story of emotions. What happens? What is right, what is wrong, and how can we opinion our without knowing what is good or bad? First of all, don't give opinion to anybody. Non-interference is spirituality. Do not poke finger into others' life. So giving opinion to other is totally out of question. But in spite of that, somebody is coming to you, Manoj, please, I can't think properly and I trust you a lot. Can you please give me opinion of yours? Then whatever opinion you are giving, it has to be with non-duality. What is non-duality? Madam, how do I give? There are only I'm giving you easy answers which I apply in my life. I won't give you one answer and apply another one in my life. Only 2 check boxes to be completed for every opinion that you give. First checkbox, is it doing any harm to the humanity? Whatever opinion you are giving, is it harming the humanity? No. Okay, 1 tick box. Is it harming yourself? No. If both the answers are no, then it's good. But even 1 box says yes, then it is not a good one, right? So if you don't want to be associated with bad or good, then this is an easy checklist. Why? Because it's very difficult for us sometimes not to be biased when we give our opinion or when we start acting in any direction. The easy checklist is this 2 boxes checklist. And this will take us to non-duality in a more easier path. Manoj, I don't know if I have answered my question, but I tried to with the amount I remembered your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. One more question from Ashok ji. Ashok Mittal ji, can you please unmute?
Very good morning and very provoking session to go deep inside. I have 2 questions actually. One question is the connection between the brain and the heart. We say emotions, thoughts, and feelings. Now, feelings we connect with the heart, and thoughts we connect with the brain. And there is in between emotions. I was just listening to the book Power of Now. They say the feelings are first generated and then thoughts are generated. So I was thinking that first thoughts are generated and then the feelings are generated. This is one confusion I have. And should I ask the second question or should I ask the second question afterwards?
I think let me answer this, sir, because
okay,
I don't want to be, otherwise both questions will get.
And my introduction, madam, I am from Gurugram in NCR, India, and I have been associated with the practices, meditative practices, only in September this year, only from September. I'm 70 years old. Yeah, I have just only my spiritual journeys.
Ashok sir, though you have only been 3 months in this incarnation, but in last few incarnations you have been for long time on this path. So welcome, sir. Welcome onto this beautiful path, which we are all enjoying. Bindas, sir. Once you are in this path, everything else akuna matata. You don't have to worry about it, right? So welcome, Gurugram. So that must be close to Delhi, isn't it?
Very close to Delhi. Very close.
Yes.
It's
so
Delhi
I'm coming on 19th of December to Delhi, and if I'm lucky enough, I might even meet
I would
you.
like to meet, madam. I would like to meet.
So
how I will be able to connect you then? I don't know.
PMC Delhi has invited me on 19th of December.
Okay.
So if you know anyone from PMC Delhi, one name is Amulya Shastri.
Okay. I will find out.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
If Divya can give you my contact number, I can also pass Amulya Shastri's number to you. And they have invited me to be in Delhi on 19th. So definitely, sir, if you are there in the vicinity, I would love to connect with you.
I am there. I will be very happy, very grateful. I will be. Thank you.
That'll be great, sir. That'll be great. Now let's. Will it be Zoom session? Madam, I'm not sure if there'll be a Zoom session or not. I'm not the one organizing, but PMC Delhi is organizing my trip. So if you contact Amulya Shastri from PMC, she can arrange whatever you want. So I'll be reaching on 19th December morning to Delhi, and I'll be there for 28 hours.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll certainly meet you. I'll certainly and take your blessings
Yeah, sure. There was another madam also chatting on this, so I was answering to her as well. Thank you. So let's go to your question, sir. You guys are asking such amazing questions. You know, I don't know how Divya is going to control the time of today's session. I have no idea. I haven't even finished cooking. It's 1 o'clock here for me. But once I get into this topic, I'm not hungry, but my husband would be hungry, but that's okay. He's got used to me anyway. So let me continue my topic. Such a wonderful question. You're a very evolved soul, Ashokji. And that's why I'm so excited in answering your question. What question you asked is not a small question. Nobody even thinks. Koi sochta hi nahi hai iske bare mein. You have kind of shook the stem of the tree. Beautiful. Your one question contains 3 questions. So let me answer one after another because it's going to be difficult for me to keep track. Mind and heart are different. We both know. We all know. And so far, the game that we have been playing and living our world, this physical world, is only through mind. Most of the humanity, they don't understand what heart is. They think this triangle shaped or this shape thing that is, palpitating, that is heart. Yes, that is physical heart. But there is an energy heart that we have lost touch with totally. Why? Because heart doesn't bring you money. That's why leave the stuff aside that doesn't create money and let's focus on the one that gives us all the material happiness. And that's why we have become slaves of mind. All bhajan, Raghupati, Raghava, Raja Ram, ne man ka bhajan. That is all about man is this mind. That is the problem. So, first of all, I need to start this answering by making you people understand all centuries we have lived through mind. And we have attained nothing but suffering because mind gives you suffering. Why mind gives suffering? I'll give the answer in one minute. We have not used heart at all. But is it our problem? Have we done anything wrong? No. Then why is it happening? I won't go through this topic too much in detail because Divya will mute me immediately because she knows this topic goes for hours. But I'm going to do a very small introduction. We are in third density consciousness. And Divya is already smiling. We are in third density consciousness. Ego plays the biggest role. It keeps us away from the truth. It keeps us away from non-duality. And the game here is mind becomes the king. Mind is the Raja. Heart is the slave. Nobody takes care. But this is where the humanity has to raise out of it. 80% humanity is completely 100% stuck in mind. And that's why this world, wherever you see suffering, pain, suffering, because that's what the mind gives. And I'll tell you in 1 minute why mind gives you suffering. But the answer to Ashok sir's first part of the question is, now the time has come for humanity to start realizing the miracles the heart can do. For that, each one of us have to learn the heart of connecting with your heart. How will it come, madam? Arey suno na wo kya bolta hai? Just give it 1 second every day to listen what it says. For that, you have to come out of it. As long as you are here, you can never listen to this heart. But in this game of moving forward from third density consciousness into fourth density consciousness, you will be slowly moving away from the mind game into the heart game. So now the balance is like this. Mind is the Raja and heart is the slave. Nobody listens to slave because useless slave. Slowly now the change has to happen. We have to start using heart more, come out of this brain and use heart more. And this is going to happen very soon, which is called balance between mind and heart. And that is the time which has occurred for some of us already. And some of us are on that path, who are already on the spiritual path. But 99.9% of the humanity are still struggling here. And that's why the transition from third density to fourth density is becoming close to impossible for many human beings. But people who have this inquiry in their heart, what now, what now? They are working on this balance. This balance is the key to your progression. This is where humanity is stuck. Now, as I said, this mind will only introduce suffering. Why? Second part of the answer to Ashok sir's question is, there are 3 things in the mind. I'm generalizing it, okay? Don't say, okay, what about this, madam? What about that? I can't tell you all the 2000 things, so I've categorized into 3 important things. Mind has, what does mind create, or what is mind consisting of? Our thoughts, our emotions, And the biggest one is our ego. Ego is here controlling our mind completely. So, madam, ego is bad? No, ego is not bad. Without ego, you can't be in this physical body. You can't take this human form. Ego is required to keep you in this physical form. But ego has to be in the natural state for what it was created. We have used complicated ego more than it should be. So in this complicated form, our ego is controlling our thoughts, our emotions, which are all creating from this so-called mind. Now, what does contain in heart then? Nothing. Heart is empty. Heart is a form of shunyata, emptiness. Heart is nothing but a replica of your origin. And that's why when you connect to your heart, you're connecting to nothingness. You're connecting to the main source. And what is the main source of creation? Emptiness. In that profound emptiness, everything is there. But the mind won't let you connect here because mind knows the moment you escape here, it lost all the control. So it will keep you. It will keep you in your thoughts. It will keep you in your emotions. So the game that I talked about in my session, how to slowly sneak out of this ego emotions and go up, is stop judging your emotions. As long as you have this ego operating, emotions left, right, and center, let it come, but don't start branding them. I love this emotion. Oh my God, this is feeling good. This is what ego does. It wants you to feel good more and reject bad. We did not come for rejection. No experience has come to us for rejection. If it had come for rejection, it would not have come to you at all. So I'm trying, this is a very big topic, Ashok sir. I'm trying to bring so many aspects in it. I'm trying to do justice to the time I have. But going to the third part of the questions, a thought only comes when a feeling arises. Now, dictionary has only a certain amount of words. Feeling may not be the right word here, but human language is limited. It cannot explain what happens in the heart. So we generally say feeling, feeling, feeling. Feeling is not hard. But what other word do we have? There's no word. And that's why nobody could explain what is shunyata. Tell me in Vedas how they are trying to say what is shunyata. By elimination. You are not that. You are not that. What you are, you pick up a rock. No, you are not that. You pick up a cloth. No, you are not that. By eliminating things that you are not that, you are not that, you are not that, you infer what you are, because Vedas know that language has limitation. So you cannot define in words what heart is. And that's why what we say, same thing we use for mind and heart is feeling. They are different things that arise in mind and what connects your heart. But answering your question, that thoughts always come in words. If you start thinking, when thought comes, the language comes. Whatever language you're comfortable with, your thoughts will come in language. Before language starts, there is a language of emotions. And that is what you call feelings, but they are emotions. First, you feel the emotion, then the thought comes. So I will rob away the word of feeling because it doesn't explain properly the concept. So emotions come first, then thought comes. I think I tried to answer as much as I could your question, sir. This is an enormous topic.
I think I have got an answer to my second question. So it means now it means, for example, the time cycle of Satyuga, Kali Yuga, and this. Now after Kali Yuga, the Satyuga will come. So what you said that we are trying to struggle between these things. So it means the time is coming when Satyuga will begin. This is one I could understand. And second, my question was difference between ego and self-esteem. That also I have got an answer that the difference between ego and self-esteem is that, for example, Lord Krishna protected the self-esteem of Pandavas in a soul plan. So it means that when there has to be a compassion for the humanity, and anything else from the compassion is an ego.
Yes.
May,
Shall I give
am I
you a
right?
simple example to differentiate between self-esteem and ego? Very simple example
Please,
without going
please.
to any yoga.
Please, please.
When you say, I can do this thing, some task has been given and say, yeah, I can do it. That is self-esteem. I am the only one who can do it. That is the ego. Ego compares yourself with the next person. I am the only person. That means others are useless. When you're saying I can do it, it's a very objective thing. I can do it and so can anybody. That implies. But when you say, sirf main hi kar sakta hu, that is ego. Ne cheyagalanu is ego. Ne cheyagalanu is self-esteem. I've told in Telugu, Hindi, and English so that people can relate the feeling behind it. It's as simple as that, the difference between ego and self-esteem. That's all it is. Divya, I will only take one more question, if there is. Otherwise, we'll close the session.
There are few, madam, but I'll give you one question. That's from the chat. So Viraj Patel is asking, how do we really know that our emotion is raw or it is filtered with ego?
Yeah, good. Very good question. Very good question. Let me take a good example. I always want to take examples so that you people can understand it better. Any emotion that arises, if we can see it objectively, I will also show you how to do objectively, right? If you can take that input, emotion is an input, isn't it? It comes as a response to some stimuli. If you can just take it objectively, then there is no ego attached. I'll give you examples, so don't worry. But some stimulus has come in. Now, whatever is arising within you, if you start connecting it with a story that you have had in the past, how you have felt in the past, and based on that, you're judging this emotion, then it is connected with ego. What does ego do? Ego never takes the input and leaves it there. No, it wants to compare. Why? There are only two qualities of ego: personal identity and power. Ego only wants, people who have been reading Power of Now, they should know ego by now, left, right, and center. Only two things ego do: self-identity and the desire of power. Self-identity means, oh, I am beautiful, I am the greatest. Power, I am better over others. The whole problem of scarcity in the universe is because of the second part. You want to be better than the other, so you try to steal the resources. You don't understand that there is no lack of resources, because your ego is always making you think that resources are limited. Resources are limited. You have to go fast, grab it. Artificial scarcity has been created on this realm because of our ego-driven thinking. There is no lack. There is lot of food. There are lot of jobs. You name it, you can get any job. But there is so much scarcity in your being that you are competing for everything. That is what is creating lack. See, the thinking that there is only limited is an ego-driven thought, ego-driven emotion. Because ego wants you to be better. So you want to be one faster than the next one. The same thing when you see something and you're not even thinking about others. You're just taking it the way it is. Now, if some input comes to you, suppose somebody has hit you. I'm taking the worst part of this experience. Suffering. This is the worst part of an emotion a person can have. Somebody has hit you very badly, right? He may not even have noticed that he has hit you, but consequences are there. Pain is coming. How you would see this objectively? Blood is flowing. There is a deep cut. Yes, you need stitches. Of course, physically it has to be mended. Mentally, emotionally, we have to see at three levels: physical level, mental level, emotional level. Mental level, what is happening? How the pain is traveling within you. There are nervous system connections. So of course, it will be very painful. It will be burning. It will be painful. At emotional level, what is happening? Does it just stop at observing your mental and physical stimulus, which is what we covered, or does it go one step further? What is one step further? That man has no respect for others. He's not careful. He always holds the knife like that. It may well be that he didn't even notice that you were there, but you always have a story about him or about you or about the society. About you, I'm the most unfortunate being. Every time I have to be at that place where something wrong is happening. Mere bhagya mein yahi likha hai. All the suffering comes to me. The objectivity is lost. Now it is subjective because it is now your own personal thing. You have made this whole emotion into your personal experience. The moment it is becoming personal, ego has already driven upon you. That's the only way you have to judge every piece of emotion experience that comes. Is it objective or is it attached to a story and a belief system? I hope I have answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. Wonderful, wonderful. You have covered so much of subject altogether. I know time would not be enough to cover everything, but thank you so much for your time, madam. I know it's getting late for you. We will let you go. Thank you from all the participants as well. We have so much of chat box. Everybody say thank you and gratitude to you. And special thanks from all the organizing team, madam, from myself, from Pyramid Valley International too. Thank you so much. We look forward to more sessions from you, madam.
Definitely. My dear masters, it's a pleasure to be on this platform. I have known Divya Master for a long, long time, and it's been extreme pleasure to be invited on this platform by Divya Madam and to be part of this great program that you're all participating. I wish you the best of spiritual journey and don't stop anywhere. Keep asking questions. Never be fearful of asking questions. Extend your boundaries. Push it harder. That is how we know who we are, right? So with a big clap to you all, I take leave. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Hello, friends. Thank you, friends. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time.